Mamma mia! That's a good project.
idcwoodcraft.com.
I've watched Garrett's video. We're gonna see how I've done on running through it. I've got my board that is 17 by 15, so I've got those in. It's about 1 inch thick. I am going to also have to create a surfacing program for it, so we're gonna start with that. I've got my material in. It's 15 by 17. I am gonna have to go ahead and create a surfacing program as well because it has not been surfaced down, and I want it to at least be a little bit thinner starting out, which is not usually the problem. I'm always having to do glue ups to get things big enough. So getting that started, I always do everything 2.5 inches bigger than the actual board. That way it has plenty of room to come in from either side and any edge, and it catches all the edges, especially with like an uneven board. This one like isn't totally square. So we're gonna go, see, it's 17 by 15. So we'll just go ahead and pop it at 20 by 17. Create. Gonna center that up. Looks good enough to me. Okay. And I've got to remember this orientation because it is so close in measurement though. Now that we've got that created, I'm gonna go ahead and create the toolpath for it so I don't have to worry about it. Sure. Why do I always misspell that? And that looks good to me, so I'm not even gonna preview it. That's deep. Interesting, but it's pulling this way, so then when it's pulling from the wall, shooting it out. This is why I'm not the professional. We had a boo-boo, as you can see, as you saw. What would have saved me from this boo-boo? The checklist. I think I need to staple this to my desk and the CNC table and maybe like glue it to the front of my command center. Yeah, print out 16 of them, 17, maybe 100. That'll work, that'll work. But yeah, so my settings I had changed previously for testing, didn't change back. And then my Z, I zeroed it off of the spoil board in the settings, but not in practice. So let's run this again. Luckily we have plenty of wood to go on. I'm sorry I suck at this. This is just such an annoying and long fix, like, and this was supposed to go smoothly. I'm just gonna go back to my design toolpath and get started on the pizza peel. We're going to create some squares or rectangles or whatever. Actually, no. First, we're gonna add in some guidelines because I am gonna cut this down. I wanna make sure we stay away from the uneven edges. So it's at 15 there. We're gonna put it let's go 1 inch in, and then I'm going to lock the guide. That way I don't drag it because I always end up dragging them. Locking your guides is so helpful, and I did not learn to do that soon enough. I know it seems so silly, but I would like accidentally drag them around while designing. So, beautiful. And the great thing about the pizza peel design is it's so easy to create. I think we can get a 10-inch pizza on this board, minimum. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a 10-inch circle to help guide my design. That was one of the things I felt like was missing in how Garrett went about it versus how I would go about it. Sure. Oh yeah, we can definitely fit a 10-inch on here. We'll put it towards this way because the length is sitting this way, so we're going to want to draw the handle, that's what it's called, this way. Should we resize it? Let's resize it. To teach you quickly how to resize something, I've got my transform objects. We're going to set selected object size. We're linking the X and Y because it's a circle. You don't always have to link the X and Y. It just depends upon what you're doing. Change that to 12. Boom. I like that. Next step is the handle. We're going, say, about 4 inches by 2 inches. Just use that tool. There we go. Me so likey how it's building out. I feel like that is a really good angle. I like it. Okay. All of these random shapes are going to connect and make sense soon. I'm going to go ahead and add back in a 10-inch circle. That way I can also see that line. We're going to center that up to start. And, oh, duh, we can center it to this object. There we go. Okay, next, smoothing these shapes out a little bit more, I'm gonna grab the fillet tool and we're gonna fillet these corners. But first, I should put the correct measurement in the fillet radius. So I'm not really sure what kind of radius we're gonna need. I'm gonna start with a 1 inch on that inner corner there. I kind of like it. It looks like enough, but not too much. It doesn't take away any of like the handle length here. Next, these corners, I'm gonna fillet. Let's try the 1 inch, see how it looks. I want a little bit more because there's still more room before the pizzas begin. So just click it again to cancel that last one out. And I've already got the new measurement in to click them back in. I like that better. See, it's a lot more smooth. We're gonna continue to use the fillet tool. I'm gonna move that up to a 3 and see what that looks like over here. No. Taking a step back, I was making that a little too complicated on myself. I'm gonna move this 12-inch circle back to the back, because I mean, you don't want it directly up against, but at the same time, that's generally where the pizza is gonna sit. So this I'm gonna offset by 2 inches outwards, and we're going to go on to layer 1 so we can edit. And we're going to do some trimming. Trim, 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 trim. I like it, okay. And then I'm gonna add a small fillet on these corners to smooth them out. Do a 1 inch and see how that looks. 2 inches might give us a better, more rounded. I like that. I like that. And again, we're still very within the space. Should we try the 3 inches? There we go. Okay, yeah, I'm glad we moved up to 3 inches. I like that a lot better. So we're gonna copy, paste, and we're gonna move that to the 150 layer. And we're gonna turn off the visibility of the pizza peel layer. We're going to offset this by 2 inches out. I'm going to line that up with the end there because that's going to be our middle point. And then offset this one outwards 2 inches as well. close, and then we're going to draw a line. Where's the center? Again, coming in with that trim tool. I think we're going to go ahead and delete this circle. It's one less circle in the way. Do the same with that one. Okay, next up, toolpaths. We've already got our surfacing. And look at that. That actually gives us, oh, okay. That's something we got to think about is how deep it's going or not going. Because we don't want that big thick edge at the end. So I'm glad that we are previewing this. Oh, we need to put a start depth in. Pause for 2 seconds while I try and figure out how to fix this to go the right depth. Oh, never mind. Fixed it. Okay, I just needed to add a start depth. I might have to sand it down a bit more, but that's not as deep as I can kind of get it to go right now. Probably should have worn my mask for that one. Obviously, the wood that I picked was not the greatest piece of wood to work with, and I worked with it. So we're gonna keep working with it. We've got a bit of a flat top here. I'm just gonna kind of round it out. Then we've got a depth issue. It is way too thick here. And I don't really want to play with the VCarve toolpath anymore because now that this is all cut out, it's in a whole different X, Y, Z, and I don't want to screw anything up. So my thought is, since I've surfaced this side so well as well, we can flip it and pivot by surfacing some of that off the bottom. And then a little bit of sanding, and this is gonna be ready for the kitchen. You know, I mean, other pizza peels on like Amazon and stuff have that like flat top, so I think it'll be fine. We'll make it work. Last is a rounding toolpath. So profile, cut depth, 0.24. On the line. Oh, it would help if I put a rounding bit in the rounding toolpath. Now there's some sense to the shape. I was like, where's that line gonna come in? I really hope I worked that toolpath right. I knew this handle was gonna end up short. It's a little bit shorter in practice than I would have liked, but that's okay. I think it's gonna be perfect for at-home use. And when my good old Totino's shows up, my 10-inch is gonna fit on there just fine. Well, I think I salvaged this pretty well. A few surfacing passes on the bottom, and it's looking like a pizza peel. I was able to preserve all of the angle of the 150-degree V-bit by just attacking that bottom thick patch. We've got this down to a bit thicker of a line than I would like, but there's always room for improvement in the next project. I'm happy with the handle. It's perfect for my itty-bitty hand. But again, improvements later. Few differences between this one and Garrett's pizza peel. The handle is obviously significantly shorter. But again, I was working with the wood that I had, and it's an at-home oven pizza peeler, so it doesn't need to be super big or super industrial. Secondary is, again, working with the wood that I had. I did a slightly different angle to achieve that slant with the 150-degree V-bit. And you can see it's a little thinner over here, but a little wider, a little skinnier, a little thicker. And that was all working with the wood that we had and creating the design around it. If you're ready to keep learning about CNC, check out this video here. That was a fun test on the 150-degree V-bit from IDC Woodcraft. If you're interested in trying it out for yourself, find it in the links below. If this video was helpful or interesting or entertaining in any sort of way, don't forget to hit that like button. Comment down below what I should test next in the V-bit IDC Woodcraft series. And don't forget to subscribe to see the next one. Learn more now. Go to woodcraftresources.com.